Hey guys, why your open chords suck. This is one of the most common issues that when it comes to beginning on guitar is playing these open chords and finding you're getting duds and weird noises and it's just not sounding like it's supposed to. So I'm going to show you 4 ways to fix that problem, okay? Starting with kind of the most common. So the first and the most common reason is because of the pressure, really, just not applying enough pressure. So I'm just using a C major as an example. You can do whatever chord you want, it doesn't matter. But a lot of beginners will find themselves these little buzzes like that, or even just dead notes. If you hear a buzz, press a little harder. If you hear a dead note, press a lot harder, right? Also, that comes back down to the sweet spot. Right here is not the sweet spot. Right there is the sweet spot. Always try to play your nose as close to that fret as you can. This fret being this actual bar. A lot of people get confused and think this is the fret, this little space. It's actually that bar. Try to play right up behind that. That's going to be the easiest place to play. You won't always be able to play at that spot. For instance, if there is an A major, as you can see, my 4th finger is kicked back here, sounding great. But my fingers are now forced to kind of stack and march in step, and so that finger's back there. So there will be exceptions. But the point is if you can, try to aim for about that spot. That's your sweet spot. So pressure is number 1 and the most common reason. The second and most common reason is the fingertips. A lot of people will kind of play a little flat or lazy. Get those suckers up, man. Play up here. So if I'm playing a C and I'm trying to do this, even if the pressure's really good, I'm still, because I'm leaning and touching other strings, pick those guys up. Be right on the fingertips. And I know this usually hurts a lot of you guys, you beginners. It's okay, man. Just bear through it. It's good pain. It's a healthy pain, like when you work out. You're getting, callus here, just as if you're getting muscles with a workout. If it's really too painful, I'd recommend getting lighter strings on your guitar, or maybe even getting an electric guitar, which traditionally has lighter strings. That kind of already come with it. So number 2, just to wrap, is fingertips. Okay, the third reason is because of sometimes you'll be playing, let's say, like a C like this, right? And you're trying to play right directly on the center of that finger. Well, lean that sucker over. I'm already doing it here. I'm already leaning things over, right? Instead of playing it right on, like literal, like a D, for instance. Let's do that. It'd be that. Like I'm using fingertips. I'm putting pressure. But now it's like I'm super this way. Well, turn that around a little bit. Aim those fingertips, those fingernails towards your nose for all the chords, by the way. You should be able to see all your fingertips. I'm sorry, your fingernails. And apply enough pressure. Use your fingertips and lean a little bit instead of just straight up like this. Just kick it back, okay? Big help. Especially chords like a C. If you find yourself doing this, it's going to be really hard to get out of the way of those other notes. So when I lean it over a little bit, it just kind of clears the runway, clears out the room for those other strings. So when I'm playing, you can see it's kind of like here and not here in the middle. It's actually on like kind of this corner spot. Huge, subtle tip. And finally, the last one is thumb, okay? So this won't always be the case, but using the thumb is going to be a big help when it comes to getting clean, good sounding chords. Will also give your right hand a lot of freedom to kind of just bash away. Right? Well, you can't do that if you don't have a thumb happening here. I'll give you an example really quick. Bear with me. See how nasty that was? Well, that's because I wasn't using my thumb. So the thumb is going to be muting the E string right here on every chord except for those chords that has a root note in the E string. So basically what that means is I'm going to be using my thumb to mute the C string. I'm cradling the back of the neck, kind of holding the guitar like this, not playing, not overextending it, but just touching the side, just touching this E string on the side, right? And what I'm doing is I'm muting it just ever so slightly, okay? Just on the side, don't overdo it because now you're playing notes. And I'll do that for every single chord except for G's. Back that off a little bit. E's, back it off, okay? And that's pretty much it when it comes to the open chords. Everything else, that thumb comes in because on the C, my root note is here on the A string. So I'm muting that E string. That can get nice and crazy See, I'm still going to aim for the A string down, but just letting you know you can. A minor, same thing. That's gone. That root note is the A string. So even if I happen to catch it, you don't hear it. It just gives you a thud so the ear doesn't even hear it. Everything, even the D. And the D will be a weird one because you're like, well, what about that A string? Well, the A, that's a note that's in the chord. I'm not going to go to the theory stuff, but you're fine. Try to aim for the D string down, but use that thumb there. That E is definitely going to sound a little weird if you do it that way. D minor is the same thing. You're going to use that thumb. F's, all that stuff. So use that thumb, cradle the back of the neck for your chords, and that's going to help you a ton in sounding clean. That last step I might recommend for maybe later. Really try to get those first three first. Maybe just go one at a time. They kind of went in order of, honestly, in commonality of the mistakes being made, or issue, I guess. And it's also kind of a good order in terms of just getting more experience with the guitar, starting with just a little more pressure, you know, fingertips, leaning it a little bit if you're still having issues, and then bring that thumb in eventually. A lot of my students will, you know, start without the thumb and then bring it in as I kind of get them more comfortable. So go at your own pace. Hope this helps. I'll see you guys in the next video. That is why your open chords suck. Hopefully they don't suck anymore. Thanks.